We appreciate you taking the time with us today. My name is Tiffany Esposito. I'm the president and CEO of the Bonita Springs Area Chamber of Commerce, and this group is the Southwest Florida Alliance of Chambers. Before we get started, we'll take a quick run around the group and have everybody introduce themselves. Just about the group. So the Southwest Florida Alliance of Chambers is a group of chambers in Lee and Collier County, and we represent about 6,000 businesses and 300,000 residents and constituents. We are recording this interview, and we'll be posting it on our websites and our social media to help to educate the community on the candidates who are involved in the August and November elections. So thank you.
Okay, great. Great.
So Donna, do you want to kick us off with introductions?
Hi, I'm Donna Germain. I'm the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of Cape Coral. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Jenna, then Chris, then Colleen.
Hi, I'm Jenna Bazzacco Forrester. I'm the Director of Government Relations at the Greater Naples Chamber.
Great. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Doctor. I'm Chris Lopez, representing the Southwest Florida Chamber of Commerce.
Great. Nice to meet you.
Hi there. I'm Colleen DePasquale, and I'm with the Greater Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for being here today.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
And then we have Michael and Jackie.
Michael Dalby, I'm the President and CEO of the Greater Naples Chamber.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm actually in my car, so I won't put myself on the camera, but I'm Jackie Lezak. I'm the President, Executive Director for the Fort Myers Beach Chamber of Commerce. Nice to meet you.
All right. Great. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
So we're excited to have opportunity to speak with you today. If you want to go ahead and start off and just tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be great.
Okay, sure. My name is Dr. William Figlesthaler. I'm a physician. I've been in Naples for 25 years, grew up in Sarasota. I started out as a single father when I was 22, worked my way through medical school and residency. And then I arrived in Naples with my 3 kids in the late 90s. I opened a tiny practice in Naples. And little by little, I grew that practice up through the entire district into Port Charlotte, and then all the way up the coast. Through hard work, dedication, and I understand the business thing. I sold that company in 2013, and went on and start setting up cancer centers all over, including South America. And then I returned in 2016, started another urology practice here. I now have 5 grandkids. My kids are grown. They all went to high school and grade school here in town. My son is a highly decorated combat Marine. And I see what's happening to the country. I see how the country is just being driven as an entrepreneur and as somebody who made it from just absolutely the bottom and saw nothing but the incredible opportunities of our country. I just see us being driven into socialism. And as somebody who has been an entrepreneur, a business leader, a father, a physician, father of a Marine, I feel that I'm best equipped to run for Congress, and I feel that I'm the kind of person that I would want to represent me. For those reasons, I decided to run for Congress when I heard that Francis Rooney was not going to run for re-election. I know the issues of the districts. I've been here for a very long time. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you. So you touched on it a little bit, but if you want to elaborate on what prompted you to run for office.
Well, as I said, I started out at the very bottom. I was a single father from my early 20s. I had to take out loans and flip pancakes, work on concrete crews and construction crews to get my way through medical school and residency. And I started in business, the old fashioned way, just hard work, taking out loans, paying off your student loans. And I believe that the opportunities afforded to all of us here in our country are available for everybody. And I'm concerned that dream that we all shared as young people is going to disappear as our country is being hijacked and just pushed towards entitlement, socialism, out of control spending, open borders, people flooding into the country. And now, we can see with these riots and with all the other current events that are going on, just the direction that we're starting to head, and I don't like it. And as I said, I don't believe that our founding fathers intended us to send career politicians to Washington. I believe that they intended us to send real people from their districts all over the country who've dealt with real issues, who've raised families, had farms and businesses, et cetera. And they would go to Washington, build consensus, represent the country, solve problems, have term limits, and then, go back to their districts and back to their families and farms. And that's what I believe. And, that's why I'm running.
Awesome. Thank you. What makes you qualified to represent the business community?
Well, to me, a business, starts out with hard work and actually a product or a service, and they have to learn how to market that service or product. And for me, I started out as a physician with $350,000 in debt. I was very well trained, went to the top medical schools and universities, graduated at the top of my class. I arrived here with, as I said, 3 toddlers and a medical degree. And, I took out a loan, started a business. I had to balance that budget. I had to make the payments on the loan, and little by little, I grew that practice into dozens of centers all through the entire west coast of Florida and all through the state of Florida. I dealt with the Agency for Healthcare Administration for JACO. I built multiple office buildings. I employed thousands of employees. I've treated thousands of patients, started clinical trials and cancer protocols, done tons of innovation. I was, the youngest Junior Achievement Hall of Fame laureate ever in Collier County. And I believe in charity that empowers people to work hard, achieve, and I'm a big believer in a country that was built on individual exceptionalism, and that in our country we all have equal opportunities, and that's where we start from, and we are not guaranteed equal outcomes. So having lived that and believe that, I believe that there's just no question I'm the best person to serve in this seat.
Thank you. In your opinion, what's the most pressing issue facing the Southwest Florida business community? And if elected, what will you do to address this issue?
Well, as a country, we have to get overall spending under control. Our national debt is the biggest threat to our security as a nation. We also have to work on immigration reform and securing our borders, because we have people flooding in here. We're overspending on entitlements, and we've got to get that under control. The Trump tax cuts of 2017 was a step in the right direction with cutting corporate taxes and capital gains taxes. I believe we need to work on tax cuts 2.0. We need to make it easier for small businesses to get started and to grow and have capital to grow. Specific to Southwest Florida, we've got to keep our eye on the ball when it comes to clean water. Now, fortunately, we've had some success in that direction, and Kirk Clausen and then Francis Rooney have been successful in getting funding for the numerous over 67 projects that we have working to get our water clean water, et cetera. But that has to be as a entrepreneur and business person. Every single sector in Southwest Florida depends upon clean water. Every industry. That is our natural resource. That's our capital. So keeping our eye on that is critically important. And as a congressman, it's going to be up to me to make sure that we keep that funding going. We got $250 million this year. We need to make sure that that's the absolute least that we get going forward. And we've got to keep pushing for the clean water. So that would be probably the number one thing.
Thank you. And we have some more questions about that, don't worry. But first, so Southwest Florida's economy is heavily dependent on hospitality and leisure. If elected, what would you do to encourage economic diversification in the region?
To encourage economic diversification?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's a number of things. We have the climate is just perfect for business growth and small businesses in our area. Some of the issues that we face are affordable housing. We have kids come out of college and they've got their education, they've got student loans, and they've got great skills, and they come to Southwest Florida and they can't afford housing. I mean, it's an expensive place to live. So I would like to work with our communities and, you know, everybody kind of get together to figure out what we can do to help work on more affordable housing for people so that we can encourage people to come here and grow our businesses. I would like to see potentially international cargo in Southwest Florida so that we could get more in this. That would encourage us to get more businesses going in Southwest Florida, and I think that's very possible. We've got great access with Southwest Florida Regional Airport. I think the fact that we don't have state income taxes, and I would like to work on getting additional tax cuts and additional help to small businesses to allow them to grow. And those are some things that I would work on. And you know, I've met with Arthrex, and we've got Hertz here, and we've got some other companies that are starting to come here, and I've spoken with these companies, and it's just like I said, one of the big issues that they struggle with in getting people here is affordable housing, and also the water. The water is a big issue too. So those two things we need to keep focused on.
Thank you. So this group was formed in the wake of the 2018 water crisis, and we have made water quality our #1 priority, and we have maintained that it is our #1 priority. So if elected, what specific projects would you advocate for to improve and protect Southwest Florida's water quality?
Well, #1, as a congressman, the most important thing that I do is really push for the funding. That's #1, because, you know, getting the funding so the Army Corps can work with Florida, Lake Okeechobee, you know, and the South Florida water management, and get these projects going and keep them going, get them completed, is critically important. So as I mentioned earlier, you know, we've gotten up to, you know, an appropriation of $250 million, but that's an annual appropriation. So it's going to be up to our congressmen to work hard to keep that coming, to make it an issue that's very popular up there, and get that money to come. #2, in terms of projects, I think that you know, allowing for the storage area so that we can not only have the water available, but also, you know, do quality testing on it so that when we release it, it doesn't have the algae blooms in it that are harmful to people and harmful to the environment. So that's probably the biggest project, and it's an expensive and big project. And right now we've got to incorporate a way of looking at water quality testing, you know, with that project. So I've met with, you know, various, you know, champions on this issue, and I clearly understand it's a major issue for our district.
Thank you. What specific actions do you think lawmakers should take to improve and protect Southwest Florida's waterways?
Can you repeat that?
What specific actions do you think that our lawmakers should take to improve and protect Southwest Florida's waterways?
Well, I think that we should, I mean, obviously quality testing, that's important. You know, continuing to get these projects done, you know, working toward getting the water pushed under the US 41 so we can get it south. I mean, that's a big thing that our lawmakers can work on. Those are some of the issues that I think are very important in ensuring, you know, that quality. You know, obviously, you know, nobody here is for offshore drilling. You know, we don't want that. I mean, that's another issue we don't want. I mean, those are the types of things that I think are important in ensuring that.
Great, thank you. So last question, is there anything else you would like us to know about you or your priorities?
Well, yes, I think this is important. You know, as a business leader, physician, father of a military and philanthropist in the area, you know, I'm not going into politics, you know, to do a career or to make money or et cetera. I don't need the job. I'm doing it because I love my country. I believe in the American dream. And, you know, so with that being said, I'm not accepting donations from U.S. Sugar or I'm not accepting donations from organizations that could in any way negatively impact, you know, the things that are most important to this district, which would be water. And in addition, I think we need to look at subsidies. I'm not a big fan of subsidies. I think that they unfairly give an advantage to certain businesses, and specifically, these sugar subsidies. I would like to see that change. But when people say that they stand for something, they can only stand as strong as what money they need or who pays them. I'm not going to be bought and sold. I don't need this job. I don't need the money. I believe in our district. I believe in our country. I believe in clean water, and I will not ever back down. So I think that's important, to know.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, and we wish you in the fall.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Hey, Tiffany.
Right.
Yes.
Tiffany, I have one quick follow-up, if I may, Dr. Figlesthaler.
Yes.
What are you doing with this unique campaign season? What are you doing to get your platform out and to get your voice out and to get people to meet you? I've seen you come through my neighborhood in Whiskey Creek, Fort Myers. I've seen some of your TV ads, but what's your campaign approach, especially with the restrictions that we're seeing right now?
Well, yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Beginning back right in the second week of March, when we started getting, the whole COVID crisis and shutdowns, I had already assembled a massive ground team for my campaign. We put together, this was going to be a massive ground game, grassroots ground game. But when everything shut down, we converted our ground team into a COVID-19 resource center. So we set up a 24-hour call center, as well as a web portal, and we began making well check calls to at-risk people throughout the district. Over the next 12 weeks, we made over 150,000 well check calls to people. We ran thousands of errands for people, whether it was the food delivery, getting them to medical appointments, getting them lined up with services they needed, unemployment, stuff, navigating through different websites and stuff. In addition, we set up food deliveries. We set up on every weekend for almost 2.5, 3 months. On the weekends, we did hot food handouts all through different areas of Fort Myers. My entire team was out there passing out food. I think we passed out close to 10,000 meals. So we, obviously, as a conservative Republican, you don't get a lot of press for doing those sorts of things, but as a physician and somebody who believes that in our district and precinct services, and which will be a big thing for me in Congress, that's what we did. In addition to that, to your question, we do, we get the word out on social media, digital, there's mailers that are going out, door knocking. Now we're allowed to do that, and TV advertising. And the notion that, the self-funding that I do for my campaign is all hard-earned. It's money I've earned. It's not donations from anybody or from PACs or anything like that. It's hard-earned, exchanging hard work for money, and it's because I believe in what I'm doing, and I'm not hiding behind 30-second ads. I'm out there every single day, making calls and doing service for people, and I've dedicated my life to service, and I'll continue to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Great. Thanks so much again, and like I said, good luck.